Hey Dad, what's this?
What's this?
Hey Dad, what's this?
What's this?
Hey, what's up, guys? Kenshi here. Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, so we're changing it up a bit. We're starting off in the in the garage, and before we start this video, I just want to say thank you, all of you. So YouTube has been hooking me up and putting me on the what I call the algorithm gravy train, as I call it. So yeah, so they're putting me out there. You guys are clicking, you guys are watching, you guys are subscribing, so I appreciate all your support. You know, there's a lot of new subscribers out there, so I appreciate it. Okay, so today, as you can see earlier with Elliot, we're gonna remove the alarm, but at the same time, this will help anyone out there that, you know, you just bought a used car and you're not sure what these pieces are. You're starting to see, you know, cleaning out the car and you're starting to notice these things. So I'll show you what to look for to see if it is an alarm in the car, and then go from there. So this scenario, you just got your used car, and hopefully it is a Miata. If not, it's a Mazda, but it's okay. You know, any car is good enough. Congratulations. So you just got the keys. So the first thing you'll notice is just look at the key. And if it has like some sort of transmitter that doesn't say your car make, then it kind of tells you it's probably might be an alarm, or it can be a remote start. But at the same time, you know, so that's the first thing to identify. Just look at your keys and see if it has like a transmitter, key fob, whatever you want to call it, that's not your car make. And that'll give you a way so that from there you can decide, oh wait, is this an alarm? The other easiest thing is just pop your head and look around in the engine bay, and you'll see like a black looking thing like this.
It looks like a megaphone.
Yep, it is. It's a siren. That's the thing that makes that sound like boo, boo, boo. It's been a while, but yeah, and I can't stand those. So yeah, and usually it's always mounted down. That's when you know it's been properly installed. Because if it's mounted up, then water will collect and it'll short it out. Another one is more than likely it'll be in your car. So we had the LED. If you saw the shifter rebuild, we had the LED. It was right here. We took it off, and if you missed that video, so watch that. The shifter rebuild video is where we removed the LED so that we could put this like nice vintage placard. And then so yeah, and then also when we removed this, we noticed that this is a sensor. So since this is convertible, it actually has like it's a dual zone sensor. So it's gonna set it off if you hit something on the car, like if you tap something. But it's also gonna warn you if you put your hand while the top is down. It's actually gonna set it off. So okay.
Wait, like what hand?
Huh? No, like so. Say here. Look. So say if you pass by the car, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you just decide, oh wow, this is a nice car, man. It's a nice car. And then you try, oh, what's in there? It's gonna chirp. It's gonna make a noise warning. So it's gonna chirp like boop. Like it's gonna tell you that, hey, it's an alarm. Don't put your hand in there. And if you do it again, the longer you place it in there, it's gonna set the alarm off.
Place what, like?
If you put your hand here, it has like a just think of it like a radar, like a force field. That yeah, it's like an invisible force field.
So if you don't have like a key or something?
Yeah, like say you know, like if like we'll park it like say with the top down or something, right? And then if somebody passes by, they want to reach in to grab something, it'll set it off.
Oh.
Yeah, it has that dual sensor, and not all alarms have that. You know, it's usually it's an option. Next thing, maybe I'll grab it from here. It's hard to see. Okay. And I noticed this, but there's a. Oh, can you give me this light? So this is another, as you can see, there's actually a toggle switch that they put here. And you know, like I would say 99% of the time, if you find a switch somewhere where it's easily reached, like up here, then you know it's probably not going to be an alarm, because there's no way that you would inconvenience yourself and put it where you can't get to. So this is definitely would give it off that it is an alarm. And what this switch is for is it's a valet switch, is what they call it. And it's for like those times where you literally, if you wanted to park the car at a valet and you don't want the alarm to go off. So it's kind of like a bypass switch. When I bought the car, it was already on a bypass switch. he didn't have the transmitter. He did give it to me, the transmitter. So I'm not even sure if the alarm works at this point, you know. But I'm thinking it is draining my battery. It's what you call a parasitic drain. So that's another reason why I'm removing it. And then, so we had this part we've taken off already since you guys saw this. Can you show them? So this part, we're not going to bore you with that. The next panels we're going to remove just for easy access is underneath, right here. Like this panel we're going to remove. And what's nice is all Phillips. And then, because I had to check also that if it has a starter kill, and usually that's mounted near your ignition. It's usually over here, like underneath this plastic. So we'll do that. Oh, that's metal. And the last one. I got the center console cover off. Just remember there's actually another Phillip that's hiding. So it's weird. It's like it's not like it's on the other side. So there's one. If you're looking down, you know, it'll be like up like that. There's one there. So there's 4 Phillips, but it's just not, you know, how it's on all 4 corners. So okay, so we got that out. And then the next thing is you'll see. So this is the actual brain of it. This is what you would call the computer, whatever it is. It's the main unit of it, and you can see the Alpine writing on it. So that's what we'll remove. I could see the wire that's going out into the engine bay for the siren, and these wires are running to the sensor here. So that's my suggestion is just follow each wire to where it leads to, and either use electrical tape, solder. I did look in the ignition. I'm not sure yet if it does have a starter kill, because usually there's a relay and it's tied to it. But I do the, oh yes, yeah, I see where they tapped into it. You see these, this is where they tapped into it, so, okay. So it looks like they didn't cut it, which is good. And just said words of advice, if you're removing, can you hold this?
Oh, yeah.
If you're removing the starter kill from underneath, make sure you can't just use electrical tape, just in case they, you know, you have to use either a butt connector or solder it. If you just use electrical tape after you remove the starter kill and the relay and everything, the car will not start. So remember that. That was my first thing when I went to, I used to do this, like alarm install, car stereo, things like that. So that was my first mistake. I remember I didn't listen to the teacher. I used electrical tape, the car wouldn't start. So you have to use a butt connector, and usually it's the higher gauge, it's that yellow butt connector. He said butt. Or they have these new ones I've never used yet. I found out from that 12-volt club that my friend Mike, thanks, I love that Facebook group, and it shows it's almost like there's a solder in the middle where you just light it up, and you put, it's almost like a butt connector, but in the middle it solders the 2 wires together. So okay, so we're moving to the engine bay. We're gonna remove the siren. Usually there's two wires there. One is a bit rusty, so hopefully it comes off. And you could tell, I saw this inside where it runs in. It's running right behind the brake booster here. See, they did a nice job installing it. They even used the wrap, you know, the black wrap. And you can see where it goes in, you see it? There's even a grommet too, which is good.
What's a grommet?
Grommet is like a rubber, so when you drill a hole into metal, the grommet surrounds it with rubber so that when you stick the wire, it doesn't get caught and cut it, and it could short out, you know.
Oh.
So. And usually they use self-tapping for these. It's just easier. Yep, you could tell it's a self-tapping screw. And that's what usually is something quicker to do, yeah. Oh yeah, and the most important thing, which I didn't show, is to make sure you don't hook the battery. And hopefully you've been, if you're not new to this, yep. And yeah, the battery died, so mine is actually out. I have to get a new one. And So that sucks. I haven't been driving it, and I bought a charger to charge it, and it won't even charge. So yeah, no, and that's like money that I don't want to spend. You know, I'd rather spend it on fun stuff. But now I gotta spend like, they're not cheap, man. They're like 180, I think, for the battery. Because they're special. I don't know if you've ever seen a Miata battery, but there's actually vents. Now the batteries that you have to get special ones, there's actually vents, and you'll see it in the trunk. If you want to go real quick, you'll see it in the trunk. The tube. I'll get my phone out here. Just, you know, I don't know if you guys are interested, but these are the tubes. This is to vent it, you know, because of the fumes, so it escapes out the car. So that's the only battery I know that has something like that, and that's why it costs so much. It seems like it goes to the bottom there. Yeah. So, okay, well, let's go back to, to what we're doing. Got this out, and then get any sort of anything that you could use. I'm gonna use this wire cutter. Yeah, they did a nice job actually. And they actually cut wire loom. That's what I couldn't think of the word, wire loom. So they use nice zip ties and wire loom. Use black ones too to match. Definitely how I would install an alarm.
I would put blue or something.
Yeah, unless you want to dress up your car, but I'm not really. Yeah. So since we know it's a blue and black wire, I'm just cutting it right here, and then I'm just gonna pull it from the other end. I'll just cut it right here, and then we'll pull it from the other end. Okay, so that's one thing down, and then now the inside, the fun stuff. Okay, now we're moving on to the sensor. I'm gonna unplug it first here, and then try to hopefully pull it through. I'm hoping there's enough slack down here that I could pull it. So, and not pull something else. Oh yeah, there we go. Just be careful not to cut yourself. This is all metal here. Okay, it's going through nice. And you see it's professional too, just because they loom everything together. You know, you stick it through it. If you've never seen that, you stick it through the head of a drill, and you wind the wires. Or maybe I might have to cut here just so that goes through.
Cut. That was easy.
Yeah, that's an old wire cutter. It's old, but it works good.
It does look old.
I don't even know who makes it. Okay. Okay, so we got one out. And this was the LED. And I'm thinking this is why it... Oh, Elliot, look! Elliot, look! Look over here! I found it!
Oh my god. I was wondering what that was. I saw it and I was just like, wait, what was that?
Okay, so if you guys saw the HVAC knob install, we lost one of the screws, and here it is. I thought I was gonna have to take off the seat, so yes. So this is for the HVAC knobs. It sits underneath there. So you say, huh?
I saw that and I was like, wait, is that
I'm so happy. Okay, I have to put this in a safe space. We'll be right back. So again, this is the main unit. It was pretty much just hanging there. It wasn't really mounted anywhere. It looks like there's some stuff that he didn't use. So I suggest just trace everything, you know, like take this zip tie off and just trace each one. Just make sure that nothing is bare, you know, like when you're cutting, make sure, because if it touches metal, you know, there's metal here, you're gonna have problems, you know, fuse will blow out, things like that. You'll have a drain somewhere. So make sure to do it right. I'm not gonna show everything just because it's kind of boring, but what I'm pretty much doing is just removing this and cleaning up all the wires and anything that it doesn't need, and then I'll be right back just to show you about the ignition, how you do that. So okay, so I finally took everything out, and I figure I'll show you guys each one of this again on the table, since it's easier, you know. So this is the main unit. This controls everything gets hooked up to this, the siren, the starter kill. Yes, so I did find out that there was a starter kill in the car. remember I told you it's always hooked up to a relay, and I'm saving this relay since right there. I'm saving this relay since they're kind of expensive. I think I want to do like a cheap starter kill just using your cigarette lighter, so I'll show that on a later video. But yeah, so that's the starter kill. This is, as before, that was the radio sensor. This is the siren, and then this is actually the, I've never seen one this small, but this is the shock sensor. I don't know if you could read that. It says it on there. It says electronic something. Can you see? Oh, whatever. But this is the shock sensor. This was mounted. I usually mount the shock sensor on the steering shaft. They had it mounted like near the car. You just have to make sure that it's sensitive enough. So like if you shake the car, that'll go off. And then I believe you can adjust the sensitivity on these alarms too. It's been a while. So the one thing that I told you guys, right? Like if you did have a starter kill, you need butt connectors, and because it won't start. And then I'll show you the wire where it is here. So it's the blue wire here. So this is where it was tapped. So this is the ignition wire here. And you can see the other side over here, right? So that you can't reconnect them using electrical tape. So you have to use a butt connector. And of course, it's been so long since I've done this. I ran out of butt connectors, so I had to run out and get that. But that's pretty much it. So it looks like I have to lengthen these. So I'll just use the wire that was on there, that red wire. And it is a yellow butt connector that you'll need. So you use that. And make sure you clean everything up, cover up, use electrical tape, cover up things, any exposed wires, things like that. So, and I'll show you what I think about alarms, okay? It's on like Donkey Kong! Okay guys, that's all she wrote. Hope you liked the video. Make sure to clean up everything. I still have to pick up a butt connector, so I'm not going to show you. Just reverse everything. Make sure any exposed wires is use electrical tape. Nothing is exposed. You make sure, okay? So, and then what do they need to do, Elliot?
Press the like button and subscribe.
Yeah, that's right. Love you guys. Take care. Peace.